We're about to dive into the latest trade rumors surrounding the New York Knicks that involve Dejounte Murray and Donovan Mitchell. But first, I got to make sure everybody watching today's show is subscribed to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. If you're looking for free daily content on your New York Knicks, subscribe to the channel and help us get to 30,000 subs. We're just under 150 away. We want to get there as soon as possible, and we need your help. Yo, what up, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're going to dive into the latest surrounding the Knicks and Dejounte Murray over the weekend. Hoops Hype, Ian Begley, as well as Stephen Bondy and Fred Katz that all cover the Knicks, reported and talked about how the Knicks do see Dejounte Murray as an ideal trade target. We'll break that down because there's some more information coming out, and it revolves around Leon Rose and Rich Paul. But let's start with Donovan Mitchell and the New York Knicks. According to the odds makers out west, the Knicks are the favorite to trade for Donovan Mitchell. Why would the Cavs trade Donovan Mitchell? It's a good question. Look, he's a free agent, not this summer, but the summer after next. Right now, Darius Garland as well as Evan Mobley are dealing with injuries, and maybe Cleveland could see now as an opportune time to move on from Mitchell and get some of the assets back that they gave up for Utah. But you look at Mitchell's next team odds, you got the New York Knicks at plus 200, followed by the Miami Heat. I believe that these top three teams are right. I think if Mitchell is to be traded, it will be out east, and it'll either be the Knicks, the Heat, or the Brooklyn Nets. You also got teams like the Pelicans, Sixers, Raptors, Hawks, Kings. There was a report that the Lakers are also potentially interested in Donovan Mitchell, but I believe those top three teams are the most likely teams he would end up. Look, these Donovan Mitchell and New York Knicks rumors aren't going away anytime soon. The only way they will go away is if he is traded or signs in free agency with another team. And I always get asked this question, Marshall, do you want the Knicks to trade for Donovan Mitchell? Let me answer it kind of just in a couple of questions to myself. Does Donovan Mitchell make the New York Knicks contenders right now in the Eastern Conference? I would say no, but I would also say that Donovan Mitchell does make the New York Knicks better. And I believe right now the Knicks are the fourth best team in the Eastern Conference. I have the Celtics, I have the Bucks, and I have the 76ers above them. And are the Knicks a D-Mitch away from being inside of that top three or maybe surpassing a team like the Sixers, Bucks, or Celtics? I'm not sure, but I do know this. You never know what can happen in the playoffs. There weren't a lot of people that believed the New York Knicks were going to gentlemen sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers last year. Nobody believed when the Miami Heat were almost eliminated from the play-in tournament that they were going to end up and going out and representing the Eastern Conference. Injuries happen. They happen all the time. Crazy stuff happens in the playoffs. And I believe that the Knicks, with Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle, can win a series, could win two series, or maybe even get to the NBA Finals if a couple things break their way or the ball bounces their way. Let's be honest. The Knicks don't need to force a trade. They're in a spot right now where maybe Mitchell Robinson's out for the year and they may need to reevaluate things. I do still think they're good enough to compete in this Eastern Conference. And I think in addition, like Donovan Mitchell would absolutely elevate that profile. I know a lot of people like myself are worried about the duo of Brunson and Mitchell. They would be elite on offense. You would have two players any single given night that could go out there and give you 40 points, as well as Julius Randle, who we know can have a great night any given night, maybe not just in the playoffs so far. Yeah, they would be elite on offense, but I do worry about the perimeter defense. And we've seen about since 2 weeks now, since Mitchell Robinson has been hurt, the Knicks defense has taken a step back. And that was obviously going to happen. But it's the perimeter defense that concerns me a little bit with Mitchell and Brunson. Neither are good defenders. I would actually say both are negative or below average defenders. But man, Donovan Mitchell is one of the best guards in this league. He is an absolute bucket getter. He's averaged over 26 points the last 4 years. He's extremely efficient. He has struggled last 2 years in the playoffs because he has played his daddy, Jalen Brunson, but he is still a really good player. And I think a backcourt of him and Jalen Brunson could really put the Knicks at the top of the East or near the top of the East. Question is, could they win these? I don't know. But I do know this. Knicks have been linked to Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks have been linked to Dejounte Murray. And I want to hear from you guys. You guys are the smartest people I know when it comes to the Knicks and basketball. So let me know, who would you rather see the Knicks trade for? Is it Donovan Mitchell? Is it Dejounte Murray? Type DM for Donovan Mitchell. Type DJ for Dejounte Murray. I'm curious what the real ones have to say. Coming up, we're going to break down the report from Ian Begley, where he is reporting that prominent members of the Knicks front office see Dejounte Murray as an ideal fit next to Jalen Brunson. And we'll also go through the report that the Knicks have a Rich Paul hurdle to clear if they do want to make this trade happen. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. First, I just want to say thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. And you should get hooked up with Prize Picks. If you enjoy playing fantasy sports, look, NFL fantasy season is coming to a close. It's time to dive in to NBA fantasy, and I'm talking daily fantasy sports. Do that with Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America, and it's the easiest way to play daily fantasy. They always do awesome deals like this, and they've got one for Ja Morant tonight. They've lowered his points total, which means I'm going to take the more on that. More than 24.5 points for Ja Morant, and I'm going to take less than 33.5 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. The T-Wolves have one of the best defenses in the NBA, and maybe Shai goes for 32, just hopefully not 34. You can roll with my picks or fade my picks, but just do it with our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, and they'll hook you up with a first deposit match up to $100. But $100 in your account, they'll give you a free $100. That information's in the comments and description. All righty, let's get to Dejounte Murray. According to Ian Begley, the Knicks have a Rich Paul hurdle to clear if they do want to make a trade for Murray. Murray is traded or is repped by Clutch Sports, and we remember going back to the Zach LaVine stuff this summer. Rich Paul is not, I would say, a guy that wants to see his clients play for the Knicks. It's literally that simple. He doesn't want his clients to go play for the Knicks that are pretty much a CAA factory. We'll get to the quotes from Begley on that, but I want to just talk about the fit and the on-court look of what this team could look like if they were to make that trade. Begley is saying that Knicks people, prominent people in the front office, think that Dejounte Murray is an ideal fit. My question is Murray an ideal fit next to a guy like Jalen Brunson? He already plays alongside a really ball-dominant guard like Trae Young, and I don't think that the Atlanta Hawks have gotten much better since they have traded for Dejounte Murray. Is that a Murray problem? Is that a Trae Young problem? I think it could go either way. But what I do like is playing alongside Young, who has one of the highest usage rates in the association this year, is that he's still putting up big-time numbers, and he's doing it on elite efficiency. In 34.5 minutes per game this year, Murray's giving you 25 and 5 on 46% from the deck and 38% from downtown. And I want to focus in on that three-point shooting and the shot-making ability for Dejounte Murray, because when I think about the ideal fit next to Jalen Brunson, I think about guys that can catch and fire from anywhere on the court and knock it down, as well as being elite defenders on the other end. At 6'5", with a 6'10" plus wingspan, Murray is a good defender, but he's not the best shooter. This year, on catch and shoot 3 opportunities, he's getting them up at 3.2 attempts per night. He's knocking it down at just 35.6%. That is well below league average. But he has shown that he can go create his own shot off the bounce, pull up three-point percentage up to 42% this year. That's elite. That's at the top of the league, and he's doing it on more than 2.5 attempts per game. But it doesn't really matter what the fit is on court. Why? Because Leon Rose and Rich Paul don't like each other, and what Ian Begley said is, it may not even matter if the Knicks value him as a piece that can make them contenders. Listen to this. He said, Murray is represented by Rich Paul and Clutch Sports Group. The New York Daily News reported in 2022 that Clutch opposed a trade of client Zach LaVine to the Knicks. That dynamic is still present today. I'm told that Paul remains reluctant to do business with the Knicks, who are led by team president Leon Rose and executive vice president William Wesley. If the Hawks decide to trade Murray, they would almost assuredly work closely with Paul and Clutch to find a suitable destination. That's how often things work in the NBA. So the Knicks' interest in Murray is a moot point at the moment. It will remain moot for the foreseeable future. Look, this is a serious problem for the New York Knicks. When you hired Leon Rose, it was so he could bring a star to the New York Knicks. And if you're unable to get players from one of the top agencies in the NBA, That's a problem. It is less than ideal for the Knicks to not have access to any players that are repped by Clutch Sports. Can you build a championship contender without any Clutch Sports players? Absolutely. But it makes the job a whole hell of a lot harder. I think Murray's a great player, and I would trade for him for the right package. Package that I don't really know what it would be right now. Probably revolve around R.J. Barrett picks, Evan Fournier maybe for salary. They'd probably want Quickly. I don't know if I'm trading Emmanuel Quickly for Dejounte Murray. Is Dejounte Murray the best player I can get when I'm trading out Emmanuel Quickly and R.J. Barrett? I'm not sure. But Dejounte Murray, like Donovan Mitchell, makes the Knicks better, but in my opinion, not title contenders, which means there has to be another move to follow. I always like the idea of getting better. I like adding good basketball players to this team. And maybe the Knicks don't need to go swinging for the fences right now. Maybe they add a guy like Dejounte Murray, and maybe they can try to compete to get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I do know this. The trade deadline is just a couple of weeks away, and it is going to heat up around the New York Knicks. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Look, if you made it this far in the show, that means you liked what you saw, maybe just a little bit. So subscribe to Knicks Now by Chat Sports. We'll bring you Knicks content for free every single day.